Hi, my name is Tom Scherschel. I'm a fourth grade teacher at Chavez Elementary School in Norwalk, California. I'm also our intervention reading program facilitator and our ELD support person. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how we came to acquire smartboards. A couple years ago, my boss, my principal Bob Rayburn, and I went to Macworld, and we got hooked up with the smart people there. They suggested that we take part in their seed program, which we did. We got 4 machines, and everybody at our staff just immediately fell in love with them. And my boss was brilliant. He was able to apply for federal stimulus funds, and we were lucky enough to get smartboards put in every single classroom at our school. Since then, we've had some excellent in-services. Everybody has embraced them, even those on our staff who are not necessarily technologically proficient. They love smartboards. They use them all day long. Some of the ways that we are using them, as I mentioned, I'm our reading program facilitator. I've taken all the lessons and I've converted them to smartboard lessons to make it easier for teachers to access the information. I've tried to incorporate some interactive games such as the vocabulary game, just to make it more interesting for students.
Okay, today we're going to practice the vocabulary we've been working on. So this is how you do it. You're going to look at the word and you're going to look at the definition and you're going to drag the word over to the correct definition and then tell us about it. For example, if I pull this word over, embraced, and I move it over here, put it next to the definition, hugged. And this is how I'm going to describe it. I'm going to say the vocabulary word is embraced, the definition is hugged, the part of speech is verb past tense. Any questions?
As I mentioned, I'm our ELD support person. A couple times a month I host seminars, or they're rather gatherings after school. Teachers come and we get together, we talk about how we can create content related smartboard lessons. And I also meet once a month with our first and second grade systematic ELD teams. We have been working really hard the last couple of years trying to convert the lessons that the district folks have created. They've created digital systematic ELD lessons, and we're converting them to smartboard lessons. With the help of some of the smart folks, particularly Angela Follendorf, thanks Angela, we feel like that we've really come a long way and are starting to create some really effective, visually appealing and engaging lessons to support our English learners. The beauty of it is we can create them at different levels, and individual teachers can modify them to suit their class's needs. And the best thing is we don't have to create them again. Once they're done, they're done. It is time consuming and labor intensive, but we can save them and store them for next year. Again, they can be adapted to a particular class's needs without a lot of extra effort.
Okay, today we're going to do some work with the community workers that we've been studying. If you recall, a community worker is someone who works in your neighborhood, and then we're going to talk about what the worker does. So your job is to decide whether each tab is a worker or if it's the task, what they do. For example, like this. Police officer, I would drag up here into worker, and if it disappears, then it works. And I would say a police officer is someone who works in my neighborhood. Then if I wanted to talk about the task that the police officer does, I would drag this up here. By the way, if I push that, it says keeping us safe. That's what a police officer does, right? So I'm going to drag it up there to the task, disappeared, and I'm going to say keeping us safe is something that a worker does. Okay, any questions?
So the storage aspect of it is wonderful. The interactivity, the students can manipulate, they can play the different games. We try to do activities into every single lesson, and it's just really effective. I'm also using smart technology to support my learners, particularly my English learners, in content areas. We have a district mandate this year to create and to post not only content objectives but also language objectives. That can be pretty time consuming and it can be difficult to find a way to store that. Again, the beauty of the smart lessons is we can just download it. We can incorporate it into the lessons, embed it into them, and then we can easily retrieve it. If I don't like a sentence frame, if I think it's too difficult or too easy, it's easy to modify it. And it offers great visual support for our English learners. So using all of these different um, methods, we feel like at our school that we couldn't live without the smart boards now. We hate having sub days because our subs don't have access to the smart boards, and how are we going to do the lesson without it? Um, but we just really love it, and we feel very fortunate to be able to have them at our school.